All right, guys, we are back, and me and Bach, we both wandered around. We thought about things for a little bit, and we still don't really have any conclusions here. Ignite just came out and made it happen. They had a really good CT side, and that's what happens here. But we're on Mirage. This is their opportunity. They're on the CT side, but coming up already, Ignite from Connector. They're splitting into this A site so quickly that it doesn't look like Phoenix Fire was prepped for this. Adway will be able to get one frag in, but all of the frags... Oh, there's going to be a nice one from Silent. So it is a 3v3 here. Two of the Ignite members trapped at Firebox. We'll see what happens. Vice will be able to get one, and now it's all down to Silent in CT spawn. And this is where things spiral out of control already for Phoenix Fire. If they drop this pistol round, which is looking highly likely as Silent, he's got a couple flashbangs to his name. I believe there's a kit somewhere down in sight here. But he's whiffing on one player now, and he goes down to Vice from Connector. So, skipped our intros as we had to jump into that pistol round. I'm Sprawl, and I'm confused. Buck, how about yourself?
I had to pray between these two maps.
To Gabe?
Because what I saw, I don't know. I think that Ignite may have made a pact with the devil. The first game was just a stomp. There really isn't a way to describe it otherwise. Phoenix Fire just got completely overwhelmed by Ignite's CT side. They look very good on the CT side, and they're looking pretty good on the T side already here on Mirage. Jacob takes down Silent and Window with a little bit of a tap-tap-taparoo shot from his Galil, so that's going to be the scout down. The rest of the team does have some armor and pistols, P250s and Deagles. Vice gonna spot out Roberts through the wall. Still no clear direction where these T's are going. Bomb down in T-spawn, back by B, and it looks like they're going to be executing up towards Cat right now. There's a player in window room just watching, or I should say ladder room watching window. And here we go. It looks like a B execute. There is one in window. Market window with a scout trying to spot these players out. Goes for the jump scout. Not able to find anything. Paul Newman does get tagged down to 11 HP. He is able to kill Ellie though. So now it's down to Justin and Adwait. Both with pistol armor. Deagle on Adwait. P250 on Justin. Still a rough round. Adwait finally gets the first kill for the CT side. But Paul Newman's going to clean up with the help of Vice. And that's 2-0. Only losing one player in that eco round. Or anti-eco round. Ignite looking really good again. Just starting off with a bang, and Phoenix Fire kind of just... I feel like their brains are just broken from that last game. Like, they just completely destroyed them as a team. It's really hard to move forward after losing 16-1.
Yeah, certainly. In any competitive sport, esport, you name it, it's competitive. It's best to have a short memory. Even if it can affect you if you're winning a lot, to have a short memory and that you just continue to have that same gameplay and you don't get overconfident and such. But when you lose like this, that is requirement. You need to have a short memory because you need to come in. This is a best of one on Mirage. You need to win Mirage, and we already see Ignite picking up a really nice anti-eco. And we say anti-eco, but those are forced up rounds. They had a scout, the one rifle, and then armor and pistols on the rest of the players. So now this is the real eco play. They've only got pistols, no armor and such. We'll see if Ignite can make this going their way once again. Again, they don't want to lose too many players to the ecoing CTs, as they love to have good bank moving into that first rifle round and making it so they can essentially buy one after if they lose that first rifle round. But we got 40 seconds left on the clock here. Ignite playing this anti-eco super carefully. And rightfully so. They do not want to give any momentum. They have Phoenix Fire exactly where they want them, and they're going to keep them there at this moment.
Ignite bringing out some impressive play again here. Just kind of mixing things up and trying to catch Phoenix Fire off guard. Silent is going to be over by Firebox. Justin from window takes out the first one into sight. That's Vice. Paul Newman with the Deagle, not able to spot him out, but Jacob is. And this is already a good round here for Phoenix Fire. They're getting multiple frags. Now it's on Jacob here, a 1v4. Does a 180, takes down Adwait, but it's not going to come together here. Phoenix Fire makes it happen in round 3. A big round for them, but the money on the T side is actually good enough because they were able to get the bomb down twice, clean up pretty easily. They're going to be able to buy up here. Jacob will be on a light buy, possibly pick up a Galil. And that might actually play against Phoenix Fire because they might be expecting an eco here because of the fact that they lost round 3 on the T side, which is, I mean, not ideal. You need to win those first 3 after picking up pistol, so you need to win pistol and then the next 2 that follow. If you lose one, usually you have to eco. So a little bit of a mental game here. We'll see what Phoenix Fire brings to it. Maybe they'll be expecting that eco and get a little too aggressive.
And we'll see what happens here as Jacob holding underpass, Reki up in Palace. Sick holding A ramp, and the bomb is rotating back for an A side play. They have all the smokes they need for this kind of execute. So Adwait and Justin are the two ones to watch out for on the CT side. Adwait from sight. Justin, he's in a position where he could get smoked off, and Adwait might be alone inside of this site. So Justin will be able to flash out here, but coming up A ramp, here they come, and counter flash though from the CTs. That's going to slow things down. 2 frags for the CTs as this is falling apart. Jacob, the last one on the field, does have an opportunity. Ellie actually may have heard something. He's crouching on the stairs, gets the frag. So Phoenix Fire, they pick up that second round, and they do so with only losing 2 members. So a little bit of economy for them, and the great thing about that round that they just won before this last round was they won on an eco. So they were able to pick up 3 weapons that they didn't have to purchase. So already a little bit of bank for them, and then they win that round with only losing 2. So yeah, they have to rebuy 2, but it's going to be another eco round here from Ignite. Or I say another, this is their first eco round. They've got 3 smokes on the board. Where do they go with things?
Looks like they're going to get a smoke out. Oh, the smoke window does not pop right, and they're going to peek out here and get obliterated by this AK. Silent with some nice spray, getting it under control to take down Sick, but took him a long time. And Jacob with an impressive shot takes down Silent. Justin and Ellie there to drop Paul Newman and Vice. It's a 4v2, Reki and Jacob. Jacob just hit a nutty shot all the way from top mid onto the man-in window. Not going to happen twice, though. Ellie taking him down from Cat. Now it's on Reki here. A 1v4 P250 in hand, no armor, no grenades, no rifles. Looking to just possibly grab a frag, and look at this, just walking up mid. They might not see this coming. They think they cleared mid at this point, and he's going to be able to flank Justin. Justin does turn around, but we'll see if he holds this angle. He is going to hold it, so Reki's not going to get the easy kill. Only 1 kill for Ignite there. This is what Phoenix Fire needed to do. They needed to start chaining rounds together, remind themselves that they haven't lost yet. You know, it's not like it's down to round totals. It's per map. Yes, they lost 16-1. There's 2 more maps, potentially. If they win this one, they're going to map 3, and it doesn't matter how bad they lose the first map. All they have to do is win the 3rd one. It's not a matter of how many rounds you gain or lose. It's about what the score says at the end. It's the first team to 16. So we'll see what they do here. They're going to be facing off against another eco from Ignite, and Ignite already off to a decent start.
It's going to be a 2v3 here as they're able to get the bomb down. Jacob has an M4 in hand as well. Reki, that's CZ75. He's going to peek out, and he does actually a good amount of damage to 2 of these players. So Jacob, he's looking for that stairs peek. Ellie, though, a little wide peek over towards a ramp. Get the frag, and Phoenix Fire with another round on the board. It's going to be their 4th. And Ignite, they picked this map. I imagine that they'll be happy with like 5 rounds on the T side. So they're already at 2. 5 rounds is kind of standard for that T side moving over into CT, and being that it is a CT-sided map, that is not too shabby for you. So they're at 2. They're not feeling too bad here. They're going to have another rifle round on the board. Paul Newman actually with an AWP in hand, and I don't believe he had a spawn for mid. It looks like Jacob's in front of him. He's going to peek out anyhow. Jacob's actually going to try and bait out a shot here. Ellie will flashbang out, but he shows a little bit of his shoulder, so gets knocked down to 40 HP. Lucky to have his life, though, as we are going to see Jacob take down Silent. So getting aggressive on Cat all alone, and as a CT side, you just can't afford to let those frags slip.
He had the AWP in hand. He was peeking the strong angle. He should have been able to get that frag, but couldn't make it come together. Paul Newman almost spots a player out in connector, just can't find the shot through the smoke. An excellent shot on Ellie to tag him down to 58 in window. Right now, this round is definitely Ignite's to take. They already have a 1-man advantage. Ellie tagged down to 58. We'll see what Ignite does with it. They're still working slow, but it does look like it's going to be an A execute. There's only 1 in A site. Justin holding down from connector is going to push back onto stairs. Smokes are going to rain out, though, so there's the smoke jungle stairs and CT. There's man in sight. That's Adwait. He's got to come up big here. Reki peeking out, though, slightly flashed. Still manages to get the kill, and that's going to secure the site for Ignite here. Jacob on the flank, taking down Ellie and Justin. Excellent team play here from Ignite. I don't think Phoenix Fire saw that coming. Roberts is going to get 1 frag on Sick, but he's going to retreat. It's a 1v4, and I guess I can't blame him. That was amazing team play from Ignite. They make that A execute. Smokes rain out. They assume everyone's in sight. There's no vision. Jacob comes up out of underpass and just obliterates those 2 players stuck behind the smokes over in connector and stairs. So it's going to be the 3rd round here for Ignite. Roberts is going to do a bit of economic damage, taking down 2 players in Reki and Sick, but finally gets dropped himself. They're going to be able to rebuy here, though, because of the fact that they've been chaining some rounds together, and they could potentially buy in the next round as well if they lose this, but Ignite's got to feel good. That was a very clean round from them.
Yeah, exactly, and Ellie with the most after that buy, so he's got 6,400, but that's pretty much it. So although they may be able to force up a buy here, I think that this round could put them on eco. We'll find out, though, as we're going to have an A-ramp push, and Justin Silent come up big. So this is just a straight-up A-take, no smokes, no anything, and that can definitely catch your opponent off guard. Sick will be able to drop Silent as they get the first pick of the round, and Justin's still alive in sight. He will take off the head of Sick, and Roberts comes in to finish the round. So Ignite, they pick up 1 round, and now they do have a little bit of money still, being that they got 7K on Jacob, 6K on Vice, so they might force up here, or they might just kind of drop pistols, go for maybe a B-rush. Who knows what we'll see, but it does look like they're going with the Tech 9s, and this is another opportunity for Fenix Fire. If they can get through this round without losing too many members, their bank continues to grow. But for Ignite, 3 rounds, and if you're shooting for kind of a 5 or 6 on that T side, you're already at a good spot. So they're maybe not too worried, and they're going for a B-side play here, and it's going to be Ellie coming up from underpass, and although that was a massive pick. He dropped the bomb carrier, so I didn't realize. I was like, oh, although he got those picks, they now have the B-site. Problem is that bomb way back in Ellie's possession, so a 1-for-1 trade here as Vice takes down Adwait, but Justin takes him down shortly after, so Jacob and Paul Newman still left alive here, and that's going to be Paul Newman going down, so Jacob, he's looked pretty damn good thus far. You can see, quite honestly, he plays with a very high sensitivity. You can see that right away. We saw him get a nice 180 shot earlier in this map, and he's going to be checking into underpass here. And again, they have this on lockdown, but if Fenix Fire assume that maybe he's going for a save, maybe he can make this work. And Silent's actually going back and forth between looking up the down the stairs and towards T-spawn. So Jacob, he misses a shot, and now that was Jacob's opportunity. Silent, he's able to salvage it with his pistol and gets the frag, but whiffing that shot, that was a small window for Ignite. But 6-3 the scoreline. We're going to see another buy up here from Ignite. And they were able to get a couple frags there, 2 frags, so some rebuys on that CT side. That'll keep the money down at least a little bit, but still, you got 9K on Justin, 9,500 on Ellie. They're looking all right. As Ignite, they're looking to take another T-side round, but we're going to find out where they go. It's actually Paul Newman opening the round onto Silent.
And again, he's just showing his dominance with the AWP. He's been a very solid AWPer the entire tournament. He struggled a little bit early on in the last map, but seemed to find his pace towards the end. That's a big kill early in the round, taking down Silent. That's the dedicated AWPer for Fenix Fire, so definitely a frag they want to get. Makes it a 5v4. Justin's going to find the AWP and try to hold down from window. Not going to happen. Sick, able to gun him down with the AK. Reki picks off Adwait, and that's going to open up the A site entirely for Ignite. Ellie is there to trade one out, but he gets gunned down from 6, so now it's on Roberts, a 1v4, and this has kind of been what happens. If Ignite wins a round, it's not a close one. It's usually a pretty good round from them. They've been winning. It's been coming down to 1v4s, like a lot. I've seen it happen 2 or 3 times already. So that's kind of the way that rounds go for Ignite when they win. When they lose, it's sort of close. It's not necessarily that Fenix Fire isn't bringing it together. They've had a few really solid rounds themselves, but Ignite has been even making their eco rounds good. So right now, even though the score says 6-3, this is a very close game for Ignite. Obviously getting into that territory of comfortability because they're going to get round number 4. They need one more to get it into that solid territory of 5 rounds on the T side, and it's only round 11 if they can get 6-5. So they could potentially get a few more before the half ends. And because this is their map, obviously their CT side could be amazing, just like it was on Inferno.
Oh, and Roberts, he does stay alive, so he'll be able to take that weapon into the next round here. Few comes out from Ellie in chat, and we are going to see another buy from the CT side. Again, they have the bank to be able to buy after losing that round. Ignite, though, on 4 rounds. And again, if their goal is 5 or so, we're in round 11. They got a little bit of time to make that happen. So we'll see how this works out for them. At the moment, just kind of spreading out, working a bit of a pick strat already. You can see that Jacob's working up towards bench. And Ellie, though, brilliant flashbang. I don't know if that came from him or another teammate, but that's going to fully blind Jacob and gift them with a pick in this round. But Silent jumps up and takes significant damage. We'll see if this nade does any more. Down to 33 in window. So that is some nice play there from the underpass player in Vice, but still playing slow. They got 1:05 on the clock. They got 2 people posted up near A. The Bomb and Paul Newman up in mid. Ooh, Paul Newman just barely misses a shot onto Silent in window.
Let me see if I can get on the eyes of Paul Newman here with that up in mid. He's trying to make something happen. Not able to hit the shots, though. It is a 5v4, but Ignite just needs 1 or 2 frags to open things up, and it could be back in their control right now. Looks like they're going to be opting for a B play. They do have someone in Palace, probably just trying to make noise. I believe that is Reki over on the A bomb site, just sitting inside of Smoke and Palace here, and I imagine he's going to peek out here and try to come in on a flank or just do some damage. He's going to drop in. Adwait's going to spot him out but not get the shots. So he's getting into a duel with Adwait here. And look at this. It is actually a rotate from Ignite. So they got the information from him that there was only 1 player holding in sight, but they're going to be way out of position here because this is going to be really hard to retake. It's a 5v3. Sick gets spotted out in mid. There's a player on cat with an AWP. That's Ellie. And he's going to jump right into his crosshair. Somehow Sick manages to survive. He did get a nice frag onto Justin, but now it's survival time as round time has expired. So 6-4. Phoenix Fire now going up 7-4. Ignite only has to win 1 more round, and because they saved a couple AKs here, they're going to be able to rebuy yet again. I'd like to see them maybe make a fast execute. They've been doing a lot of slow plays. I'd like to see them catch them off guard because their plays have been, dialing in towards the last 30 seconds of the round. I want to see them just barrel out into A, and that's exactly what they're doing here. Vice getting up very close. Smoke's going to delay them, though. Nade's going to rain out as well and take Sick down to 68 HP. So we'll see what Ignite decides to do here as that Smoke kind of threw a cog, or I should say threw a nail into the cogs.
Yeah, and they're going to be prepping this A-side play. Vice joining Paul Newman up in Palace, and he's going to take down Adwait, so that's going to open up this site. You can see that Justin will be flashing out from underneath the Palace, but needs to buy some time as Ellie now holding an angle towards Palace and actually does spot a player. Paul Newman just jumping back and forth, trying to bait out a shot so he knows the location. Justin goes down. Finally, Ellie takes a shot, but it's a miss, and he gets one actually, but Sick will drop him right after. So they're planting here. Roberts getting a great wallbang, though, onto Jacob. He jumped up by Ticket Booth, and although it seemed like a bit of a safe plant, it clearly wasn't, as he was able to get him through that box. So now Silent will be able to take down Sick, and this is a good salvage here, as it looked like Ignite had the advantage. But now in this 1v2, Vice definitely still doable. He's got both these players very low. And he's juking back and forth between window room. Now playing the mind games. He doesn't have a heck of a lot of time, though. You can see that Roberts now moved up on top of the Ticket Booth. And he actually, I think he missed a couple of shots there. Vice finally figured out where he was, but finishes the frag. And we see an 8-4 score line. Phoenix Fire, again, the opening pick went to Ignite, and they almost took that site. But Roberts, definitely the key, the kind of MVP of that round. Staying alive in CT, popped up on top of that box near Ticket Booth and took down the bomb planter. So fell apart from there. Ignite now, not a lot of money, and we're on round 13. Again, they're shooting for 5 rounds on their T side, so they got a little bit of room here, but the time is closing.
If Sick knew how low the player on Ticket Booth was and Roberts, he had a nade in hand, and he actually cycled through it a couple times, picking up flashbangs. If he just tossed a nade Ticket Booth, he would have taken out Silent, Roberts, and the round would have changed entirely. Instead, it's eco round here for Ignite, and Ellie strikes first. A nice headshot from the AWP on device. Reki's going to go down as well to the M4 of Roberts. Now it's a 5v3. Jacob pushing out in mid with the bomb. Gets spotted out by Silent Justin there to take down Paul Newman, and now it's on Sick, who does gun down the AWP, and I think they're way out of position. They're not going to be able to pick it up, so that's actually a big kill. They finally get to it. The parkour jump from Silent. Wow. I thought for a second they were going to lose that AWP. Instead, Silent A nice heads-up play there, jumping into window to pick it up. Very wisely played.
And now round 14. Again, Ignite looking for 5 rounds on the board. We've got 2 rounds left in the half, so Phoenix Fire... This is a good-looking half, regardless, from Phoenix Fire. We were a little bit worried about their mentality coming in here, and I think that they've collected themselves. They realize they have a pretty darn good scoreline, especially if they close out here. If they can get an 11-4, that is going to be nice for them moving into that T side, as they got some room to kind of utilize their playbook a little bit. Otherwise, 5 rounds, again, they still have some room to play, but definitely Ignite. This is their map choice. I imagine we're going to see a strong CT side. Like you said, kind of similar in maps in that kind of the coordination on both sides of the map. It really, I guess that's an obvious statement for Counter-Strike in general. But anyhow, we'll see. I imagine they're going to have a strong CT side. Minute left on the clock. We can see that Paul Newman, Jacob still posted up in top mid. They're hoping for a peek from the CT side, but you can see Roberts is not peeking as of yet. But we'll see. If he gets a little bit antsy, he might pay for it. That smoke, though, will be able to cover off the window room, so Roberts rendered a little bit useless now as he's entering over toward the ladder room.
And here comes the push towards mid right now. Looks like they're going to be making their way up mid, potentially into A. Justin guns down Paul Newman, and that's a big frag for them right now. It's going to leave Jacob out in mid all by himself, and Roberts pushing up on Cat is going to spot him out. Sick, though, with 2 quick frags in A. Takes out Ellie and Justin. And now, or not Ellie and Justin, that's Adwait and Justin. Ellie over towards window with an AWP. Silent with an AWP as well. Not exactly the best gun combination to have for a retake here. Roberts and Ellie both in connector. Ellie down to 8 HP. Gonna get taken out by 6-6, going for the ace now. 1 HP versus Silent, and Silent gets a nice shot. Now it's on Vice. A 1v1 with Silent. Silent's gonna try to come up big here. Vice... Oh, and Vice can't make it happen, so Silent counter clutches there. Sick came up with 4 kills. All his team needed to do was kill 1 guy, and they couldn't make it happen. That was the round that Ignite needed to make it 9-5. Guarantee that 5th round. Instead, they're going to be going into round 15 without that guaranteed 5th round, potentially facing 11-4 if they lose. It's not, the worst score in the world, but not the best either, so we'll see what Ignite has here. Their T side hasn't actually been as bad as the scoreline might suggest. Phoenix Fire has been playing very solid on the CT side, but there's been a lot of close rounds, so this is still a very close game despite the scoreline.
And Silent's going to try and get a quick pickup here. He might get punished for it as you see a trade takes place, and I don't know what just happened there, but we're now in a 2v3 as it's going to be the CT's on top of the bomb. 6 gonna jump over though, and he gets 1. Can he get Ellie as well? It's a 2v2, and he will be able to get it. So Roberts needs to take this frag, but Sick, you're out of control, man. He gets a 4K twice in 2 rounds. What a god. What a play. And now it's a 10-5 scoreline. Ignite moving into the CT side. And again, 5 rounds is what they were hoping for. 6 would have been nice, but 5 rounds is more than enough for them to work their CT side.
Sick has just been playing insane in this last, few rounds. Back-to-back 4Ks. Almost had the ace in the round prior, came down to 1 HP, and Silent had an AWP, so obviously when you're down to 1 HP, it doesn't matter what gun he has, but the AWP, that's the best case scenario for you when you're at 1 HP, because you're hoping that he's going to peek and whiff. And then he picks up the 4K in the round after that. That could have been 9-6 if Ignite had put together that 1v, I think it was a 1v3, or maybe a 1v2, where Silent came in and clutched. So, 9-6 would have been much better than 10-5, and people don't realize just how much 1 round makes a difference, because 9-6, you win pistol, you can tie the score. 10-5, you win pistol, you're still down 2 rounds if you chain those rounds together. Still, though, Ignite, 10-5 on the T side, not terrible. They're going to be moving over to the much-favored CT side on their map selection. It would be interesting to see if these teams end up switching maps here, losing their map, which was Inferno. Phoenix Fire looked really weak. If they come out and beat Ignite on their map selection, we'd be going to map number 3, and I actually don't remember what map number 3 is at this point, because this game has been so insane that I haven't been able to keep any information in my brain.
Yeah, honestly, I'm in the same boat, but I created a note, so I got Season. Season's gonna be map number 3,
Ooh.
so definitely, though, I was in the same boat. This whole match has been pretty out of control. So Seasons for a 3rd map is gonna be quite interesting, as I do believe, remembering back to Torqued, versus Paradox or Phoenix Fire now. I believe that was the decider where Torque dropped 2-1. So we're going to see here as it is going to be an A-side execute coming out, and Jacob gets one. No frags for the T's as of yet, and Jacob gets a second one here. Vice goes down, Jacob goes down, so the trades. But that's going to be sick, and Reki coming in big. Adwait trying to force the issue in CT spawn. He gets it, but now forced to head back into the site and tear his head off, does Paul Newman. That is the pistol round that Ignite really wanted to start off their CT side on their map selection.
Yeah, he gives him a little taste of Newman's own with that one tap. Ignite looked really good on that pistol round. It could have really gone either way. There was so much chaos, and that's generally what happens in our pistol rounds. Whenever I watch it, it just seems like there was no plan by either side. It just run out and shoot things. Obviously, there was a strat that was executed, but it's just so chaotic. Nothing ever seems to really come together for either squad. It's just kind of luck of the draw. But Ignite takes it. They're going to be moving into this anti-eco, facing off against that Tech 9 armor bind. They're going to be pain training towards B right now. All 5 players jumping out of apartments. They're going to need to shut this down big time. Molly's going to rain out. It's a little late to do any damage here. Reki and Sick come up with the first 2. Now it's Adwait and Silent as it's a 1v, 5v2. They finally get the kill. Silent takes out Reki. Again, another chaotic round there as I try to follow my thoughts and the kills. Ignite picks up the 7th round. Hopefully this round will be a little bit slower so we can let our brains process what's actually happening.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel if you're Ignite, you could just easily counter-strat that second round. You've got to know that Phoenix Fire is the team that will definitely go for that kind of Tech 9 pain train. So when they showed up at B, I don't think that it surprised Ignite at all. They had a quick man coming into market there. Granted, he had a 5.7, not exactly the best long-distance gun as they're funneling out into sight, but a great hold from Ignite, and now they're going to be working an underpass up into Connector, and Jacob will go down. So they're able to get one, but the trade for the T's, that'll work out nicely. But Reki from Cat tries to put some damage into them, gets dropped to 2 HP. Sick, though. That's the man you can count on this flank, and he will go down to Adwait as unsuspecting still inside of that Connector, so Newman will be able to get that 5-7 kill, and now we're going to have round 19. Ignite, they should be able to equip an AWP onto Paul Newman. Yep, that's why he's been sticking with that 5-7. 5 AKs on the board from Phoenix Fire. This is their opportunity to basically make sure that Ignite doesn't get too carried away on the CT side.
And I'm looking through map history here from just our tournament. Ignite beat Phoenix Frost, which was on Mirage. This was their selection. Mirage 16-4. They beat Devastation on Mirage 16-8. Phoenix Fire beat... I didn't actually play Mirage. It was the 3rd map. They beat DWG 16-2. If I remember correctly in that game, every eco round Phoenix fired Tech 9B. So I haven't really seen much else from them. Obviously, we've only seen them play Mirage once in this tournament, and that's basically been the time span of the broken Tech 9. So I'll be interested to see if they've discovered yet another eco round strat, but as of right now, if Ignite knows that it's an eco, they can pretty much bank on it being a Tech 9 B. So right now, though, in round 19, looks like it's going to be an A push here from Phoenix, and Ellie and Roberts come up with quick frags on Jacob and Reki. Paul Newman with a nice off shot onto Ellie's going to try and slow things down. Justin gets the bomb planted, but Vice underneath balcony, and he is just running around in sight, getting completely free frags right now. The last kill goes to Sick, taking down Roberts over on stairs. That was a lot of miscommunication from Phoenix Fire. Ignite looking pretty good in that round, and they just had that player underneath balcony just waiting and waiting and waiting. The patient play paying off. 10-9's the score. We're going to see a mixed buy here from Phoenix, so again, they're forcing the issue. This is something we've seen them do quite a bit.
Yeah, where do they go with it is the question. Do they just decide to train B? That's a frustrated look for me if that's what they're going for, but we're going to find out here as we'll be Silent leading that charge. And not that this isn't a valid strategy, don't get me wrong, but I feel like this early in the T side and opting to go for this kind of rush into B twice, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head that there's not a lot of this kind of force-up strategy from the T side and Fenix Fire, but they are going to be able to flood out of apartments, and Adwait lands a nice shot onto Sick, and Reki, he's still alive at Arch side, will go down though, so a great round thus far. Paul Newman tries to make something happen with his AWP, misses 2 shots, and now this is looking like a bit of a bleak situation. Jacob gets dropped as well, and we could see Fenix Fire picking up their first T-side round. Yeah, it looks like Vice, he's going to grab that AWP and head off to go save, so not a bad idea at all. Silent, though, should be able to peek him off. He will, and that should be an AWP in their pocket if he can make it there in time. And again, he will be able to do that. So Silent coming up with the last frag, and he will be able to secure that AWP. Good play from Fenix Fire. Again, that's why that B play works, is if you can work those smokes properly and make it into sight, that's where things kind of fall apart. There's a lot of angles to watch as only 2 players playing in that B site for Ignite.
And the truth is, when you play B, depending on how you play it, it's very easy to get overwhelmed. If you put a man on ban, if they do a fast push, it's easy to just get completely obliterated. Right now, they're just running into A. No hesitation here from Fenix Fire. Bomb Planter does go down, though, so nice kill there from Six to slow things down. It's a 3v3, as Paul Newman did take out Adwait as well. It's Justin Robertson Silent versus Sick, Paul Newman, and Reki. Sick pushed up on CT right now, Justin right around the corner, and he knows it. Sick's going to switch sides here and try and get possibly a boost over and peek into the site. Goes for it, doesn't find it. Justin takes his head off, and now it's a 3v2 retake here for the CT side of Ignite. And they have an excellent hold here. 1 in Palace, 1 in site. And I'm not even sure where that other player is for the T side. I'm trying to spot him out. There's 1 triple, 1 fire, 1 Palace. Couldn't see him for some reason. So it's going to be a hard retake here for Ignite. They only have 1 kit, and it's on Reki. Reki goes down, and now Paul Newman's just going to play back in a defensive position, try and pick off this player jumping out of vents. And I don't know how he didn't see him come out. Roberts is able to gun him down, losing that op. And that's going to be now 12-9. So Fenix Fire picking up the rounds. Ignite's going to have to go to Eco here and try and make something happen. They don't want to give Fenix Fire 13 rounds if they can't help it.
Yeah, and we'll see how this next round goes. Ignite, they're going to be on a double Eco here, more than likely. And they're going with default pistols, so maybe they don't want to have the double Eco, although even with these default pistols, I think they will have to. So we've got Ellie posted up in top mid. Looks like we've got another A-side play here. Vice playing from site. Paul Newman from site as well. So we'll see how this turns out. But again, Ignite, they're in a bit of a rough spot. They are on the CT side, and it is favored towards them. But at Fenix Fire, they've picked up a lot of momentum starting off on this T side. And they have 2 rounds on the board. Yeah, there's been 4 in the favor of the CTs, but the scoreline, you can see Fenix Fire with 12. They can pick up this anti-eco, and again, ooh, Jacob actually takes down 1 Adwait. Will be able to get that one, but down to 11 HP. This is doable, especially with Jacob with that AK-47 in hand. They're able to recycle it as well, but this is going to be a 2v3. So lit are both these last terrorists, though. Adwait jumping for a stairs peek, and they line up for him, but 2 HP on both, or rather 12 HP on Reki, 2 on Sick, and Justin will be able to get 1. Now, how does Reki play this? He's going to peek his head over, and the nade from Justin gets himself killed, and Ignite, as soon as that momentum favors Fenix Fire, Ignite steals it right from underneath them.
That was a full eco. I mean, they had 2 P250s, but everyone else was sitting on P2Ks and USPs. The fact that that just happened with basically no buy on the board from Ignite, that's impressive. They had maybe a flashbang or 2. I don't think they had a single kit. Great round from them. Obviously, there's enough money on Fenix Fire right now to buy up, but that changes the pace of the game entirely. All of a sudden, Fenix Fire is deflated. What they've been doing on the T side just gets completely taken away. They've only put together 2 rounds right now. Ignite wins a round. They absolutely should not. So Fenix Fire has got to be scratching their heads a little bit, as that was totally winnable for them. Instead, they're coming into round 23 here, and if they lose this, they're going to potentially be ecoing, and that could be Ignite's chance to tie things up in round 24, make it 12-12. So this is a big round for both teams, because it's going to mean potential ecos from either side. As this A execute begins, we will see how this breaks down.
Yeah, Vice is going to be underneath the balcony here. Jacob gets his head torn off, but Vice, he's able to get 1, but most of the frags going in favor of the T. So Paul Newman tries to get an op shot through the smoke. Sick gets one. So they begin a 2v3 retake. And Paul Newman does not have any armor. Sick did spot out Justin at Firebox, and he almost sprays him down. That's going to be him going down eventually. Ellie, though, taking off the head of Paul Newman. So a 1v2 here, Sick on 25 HP. He does get dropped by Ellie, and 13-10 is our round score. So Phoenix Fire, that was a round they definitely needed. Like you had said, they may have seen themselves at a tie scoreline there, but instead, now another eco from Ignite. They cannot let what happened last eco round happen again here. How do they prevent that?
Play passive. They took that a lot of. They had a lot of aggression in the round that they lost. They got into positions where it was easy to take a player down with a pistol because it was close range. So they need to just play the clock, wait it out. Eventually, Ignite's going to get a little too peaky, a little too aggressive. Just hold angles right now. Use your range to your advantage. And then wait for something to open up. You know, you're going to catch a player out eventually. You're going to find somebody. You just need to take your time. Go for that execute. Make sure that the team is there. Get the trades. And that's what needs to happen. Adwait's going to pick off the first one. That's Paul Newman down. There's a man on balcony. That's Vice. Vice gets one. Somehow makes it into underneath.
Oh
gets
my
another
God.
one. Goes to the third. Not able to find it. But Reki is there to take down Ellie. And again, it's a 3v2. Justin on 3 HP. Silent with the op in hand. Not the best gun to be facing off against this kind of buy. Jacob right on the stairs. Spots one out in window or in palace with the AWP. That's Silent. Silent's going to smoke. And that's actually going to keep Jacob alive. Silent spots out Reki. Makes it a 2v2. Jacob just hiding in the smoke at this point. And Justin is so heavily lit. If Silent can get this first shot, that's going to be big. But if not, this could be another round for Ignite here. Jacob goes for
he goes for it.
Unfortunately, he's going to get gunned down by Justin. It looked like we were going to see another eco round for Ignite. Instead, Phoenix Fire picks up a close one. And that's going to be 14-10 now. This is the point of no return for Ignite. They have to win out pretty much at this point. They can't lose a round because if they lose, their money's going to get broken, and then Phoenix Fire will be facing off against an eco in the match point round. So we could be going to map 3 if Phoenix Fire can put this together, but who knows what can happen. Ignite has surprised us many times already.
Yeah, we're going to see an A-side fake here from the T side. They've got 3 players right outside a ramp, but the bomb is on Justin. And Robert's with him, and they're in apartments at the moment. So this is completely a fake. They're just trying to pull players over towards this A site. And we can see that we've got Jacob and Vice already over here. Paul Newman is peeking into Palace. So the biggest issue is that Sick is very pushed up. So if he doesn't move at all, if he gets aggressive, this could spell trouble as Justin is waiting very close. But we're going to find out here as now they will be throwing that fake. So here it comes. They've got all of these smokes raining out, and for the terrace now heading in, and Sick jumps down into underpass. He heard the footsteps. He must have heard the footsteps. They haven't seen the bomb, and he's going to be heading back up. Reki's going to be inside a market right away, and they clean up in that A site. This is falling apart as Robert's now moving over into market. He jumps in, but takes a shot as now he's down to 37, and Paul Newman finishes him off. Justin comes through and goes down. A flawless round from Ignite. Phoenix Fire try and throw that quarterback sneak in, and it doesn't pan out. That is Ignite picking up their 11th round.
What a shot from Paul Newman. My God. The close range shot, I wasn't specking him. My assumption is that was a no-scope. So a great little shot from him there, taking down that player as they jump into window. That was Phoenix Fire's chance to put this game away. Instead, they do something they probably shouldn't have. Gives Ignite the 11th round, puts Phoenix Fire on an eco. Now, it's a pretty heavy eco. They have a lot of money on their side, but just not enough to make a full buy. So if they can win this round, or even if they lose this round, it doesn't really matter. They're going to be sitting on a lot of money for the next round for the buy, so it's not necessarily Ignite's chance to pile a couple of rounds on. It could be 14-12, and then Phoenix Fire would be going on a full buy yet again. But if they lose that, then they're really looking pretty bad. Ignite could potentially tie things up here, and this is turning out to be quite a map, much different than the last one.
And we're going to see another fake here as they try and funnel out a B, and Vice, he's still alive on site, and there it is. They call that the bomb hasn't been spotted. Vice stays put, and we're going to see a lot of frags over there, so does Vice rotate anyhow? And he does, because Jacob can't get this information that the bomb is not over, and he goes down as well. So now Vice in a 1v3. Phoenix Fire looking to take match point with this beautiful fake, and Ellie does go down. So it is a 2v1, but Vice still hasn't figured out that it's an A-side play. The bomb hasn't been planted, and that's why. But he's going to find out, and he does see Silent scoot over to the left side of site. Robert's playing from CT spawn. Vice has an opportunity here. We'll see if he can make it happen as looking upstairs. Oh, Roberts from CT spawn peeks out, does snatch that frag away. So match point here for Phoenix Fire. They're one away from bringing this to map number 3, which is Season, where they'll knife for sides. And that will be our concluding map, as it could just come down to Season. 16-1 on Inferno. Phoenix Fire, though, they have something in them to come back in this map.
And if you have the ability to hear voice comms like we can, there's a bit of frustration starting to mount from Ignite. They've been losing rounds that were definitely in their grasp, and that was one of them. I mean, that was a round they very easily could have won. Vice had to rotate. He didn't have a choice. There wasn't just that, well, he's got to wait for bomb. No, no, no. The B site was pretty much wide open. When you play like that, you have to rotate. So yes, you know, it was a fake, but obviously he doesn't know that. He's going off of what is happening in the round. You can't abandon his teammate over in B when the players are there. So the fake there worked for Phoenix Fire, surprisingly so, and part of that was due to the patience of Silent in Palace not making a single noise. Right now, they're going to be executing over towards A right now. They've got 4 players there, 1 in mid, and that would be Ellie. Ellie holding down from chair, takes down Reki in window. So here comes the push into the A site. One jumps out of Palace, doesn't get a single frag. Jacob picks up 2, Vice picks up 1 sick, and Paul Newman getting some frags as well. Quite a cleanup round there from Ignite. Exactly what Phoenix Fire didn't need. It's 15-12 now, and they're probably going to eco again unless they get some crazy drops here. Looks like they're going to be going for another Tech 9 armor buy. It worked out in round 26, I think it was, so we'll see if it works out here. 15-12 right now, Phoenix trying to close this map out.
Yeah, and they're just going to go straight for B, as looks like once again we'll have Sick and Reki holding that site. Silent will be leading this charge as they are smoked off at the moment, but Silent looking to get aggressive. That nade will do significant damage. Actually takes down Adweight, but a little bit of blip in the Go TV. That's going to be a headshot for Silent. I'm not sure if that happened to the server as well, but can see that Reki takes down 1. They've got the bomb planted here. It's a 4v3, but 2 very lit players, and Reki playing it patient. They end up getting the frag. It's all up to Justin, and he does tear off the head of Jacob, and he gets Vice. He's in a really opportune position. He gets Paul Newman. Are you kidding me right now? Reki, the last one alive. He knows the positioning. Justin peeks out. He gets the frag. 16-12. We are going to map number 3.